This is highlighted moments, and unfortunately, we're highlighting a terrible event. But today we have more accurate details, more accurate than the ones we had yesterday. This isn't even 48 hours yet. And we do know that Robert Card went to those locations because they were familiar to him and he frequented them. And his friends and neighbors went to those places as well. And these were two events that he knew of. And also, there were many signs, but I'm going to get into an article that spells everything out pretty clearly. And he was attacking friends, and this article spells out what set him off. It was a few things that set him off, and there were numerous signs. This article is from the Daily Mail, and it reads, "Did Maine gunman Robert Card target deaf friends, the hearing impaired friends? Killer had recently been given hearing aids and claimed they let him hear people criticizing him at the bowling alley and bar where he murdered 4 deaf friends and 14 others." Okay, so he was fitted with these new hearing aids, and he said they allowed them to hear people saying disparaging things about him. The Maine mass shooting suspect, Robert Card, had recently been prescribed with hearing aids and struggled with mental health. We'll get into that. Card's sister-in-law said that through those hearing aids, he felt he could hear people bashing him. The victim of Wednesday's shooting were participating in a deaf cornball tournament he'd taken part of in the past. It occurs every week. I don't know why they're calling it deaf. I would prefer them to say hearing impaired, but that's the title and the subtitles. Now we're getting into the article. And as we go along, you will see some gallery photos of the deceased. I will say their names. They appear in this article. The children and the people from the bowling alley, they're not listed by name in this article. But here we go. Maine gunman Robert Card targeted several deaf friends at a cornhole club for the hard of hearing in a possible revenge attack. It has emerged today. Card, who spent time in a mental facility this summer and whose family say is schizophrenic, is still at large after bursting into a bowling alley and a bar in the small city of Lewiston with an AR-15 style rifle on Wednesday night, killing at least 18 people and injuring 13 more. We know this. In the months before the shooting, Card had been prescribed a hearing aid, which he claimed allowed him to hear people criticizing him at Schemengees bar, where he carried out his second shooting. The 40-year-old from Broughton, Maine, first opened fire at the just-in-time recreation bowling alley just before 7 p.m., killing 7. The gunman then entered Schemengees bar and grill, where he killed 8 more. The others died in the hospital. His family say they believe he was targeting his ex, who he believed may have been at the bowling alley, and had left a suicide note for his son, which included bank account details. That sounds like a person that's pretty thought out. Now I'm scrolling through some pictures here, and this man has been able to evade arrest, so he is very skilled. And in this article, his friends did warn that this man could be anywhere. He has the ability and the skill to get himself anywhere he wants. So this is a huge problem. I'm still scrolling through pictures, a lot of which you will see. The article goes on. At the time of the horrific attack, the bar was hosting a cornhole tournament for the tight-knit deaf community, I will say hearing impaired community, which Card actively competed in. The group were playing as they usually do every Wednesday night. The local community is reeling after it was confirmed that Brian McFarland, Stephen Vozella, Bill Brackert, and Joshua Seal were amongst the deaf people killed at Schemengees. In an interview with the Daily Beast, Card's sister-in-law said the suspect had been claiming that through his hearing aids, he could hear people bashing him. She added that Card had been struggling with mental health throughout the past year. And a lot of people claim on his social media platforms, he's been saying some very conspiracy theory oriented things. He talks about different groups in the country that upset him. He was very triggered going on. He truly believed he was hearing people say things. This all just happened within the last months, Cardi Card said Thursday. She also said that Card would get mad when people tried to convince him that nobody was talking about him. I have known Rob my whole life. He is quiet, but the most loving, hardworking, and kind person that I know. But in the past year, he had had an acute episode of mental health, and it's been a struggle, she added. Scrolling through some more pictures. I'm sure this man was loved. You know, we got to sift through this information. And here is a post from the American Deaf Cornhole LLC. They posted, American Deaf Cornhole wants to offer our deepest condolences to the Maine families and friends, especially our deaf cornhole players who lost their family/friends. It is at a time like this that we must come together as a community and support one another. Sending our thoughts and prayers to all affected by this tragic event. Our heart goes out to Lewiston community, and mine does as well. Going on with the article, Katie Card said that when she first heard about the shooting, she hoped that her brother-in-law had nothing to do with it. So hearing the headline, hearing the news break, she immediately worried. That's telling. We know he's out there and he is a good person in his heart. After all of this, when he has time to reflect, he will be disgusted. We all want him to know that we love him and that we can handle things as a family. He just has to reach out and do the right thing, she continued. My goodness. Mercy. Amongst those killed was well-known American Sign Language interpreter Joshua Seal, 40 years old. He was a wonderful boss and an incredible interpreter, a great friend, a loving son, brother, uncle, and grandson. Seal's wife, Elizabeth, wrote a heartbreaking Facebook post. He loved his family and always put them first. That is what he will always be remembered for. This is really heartbreaking. Seal, who was deaf himself, was the program director of the Pine Tree Society and Interpreting Service. His social media was filled with calls for interpreters, and he often spread awareness about the importance of sign language. This is some more gallery photos, which you also see. It's a lot. But I'm jumping on. This is not typically, who wants to hear some news like this? But I have to use my voice. He was also a father of 4 who always loved spending time with them, traveling, going for a day trip to the beach, or going camping for the weekend, his wife said. My heart is shattered into a million pieces for our deaf community, wrote Chrissy Taplin Richardson in a tribute. Family members of Bill Brackett and Stephen Vozella confirmed to ABC News that they were part of a gathering of deaf people playing cornhole when they were killed. Vozella's wife, Megan, told USA Today that the cornhole tournament had 10 players, which means almost half the men attending were gunned down. It's too much. McFarland's sister, Carrie Brooks, told CNN the group gathered at the bar every Wednesday and that she was proud of her brother, how he was able to be a truck driver despite being born deaf. This also confirmed to have died at Schemengees were bar manager Joseph Walker, Peyton Brewer Ross, Ron Morin, and author Arthur Strout. Now this is getting back to the details. I think that makes us humanize this when you hear the families speak about their loved ones. It's just unreal. FBI agents staged a dramatic raid on a family property on Thursday night, but Card, 40 years old, remains on the run as experts warned. The 40-year-old deer hunter and Army reservists, and we should all, over 500 mass shootings in America this year. That's more than a mass shooting for each day of the week. weekends included. So this could happen anywhere at any time. So we all have to be alert. We all have to be aware. And we just really have to say that this is out of control. Don't we have enough of this? Don't we have enough of this? Or we're gonna give our kids, we're gonna start giving them a 7 and 8-year-old military training to deal with all of the weaponization going on. I don't know. Thank you for joining me. I'll keep up with this story. I always say at the end of my videos, y'all be good and keep living your life like it's golden. I do talk about other stories, so please check out my playlist, and I hope to see you soon. And do like, share, and subscribe. Thank you so much. Peace.